supposed to go to Nintendo last week to see Smash Bros. We decided it wasn't worth it because Nintendo was going to be here in LA. So why would we go to San Francisco when a few days later they'd be in our own backyard?
Yeah.
And we went to Nintendo to see their holiday lineup of games for Wii U and 3DS.
Yep.
A lot of the games were already out.
Yeah.
Let's get us out of the way. Like when they show these showcases, like they had Bayonetta 1 and 2 there. They had Smash 3DS.
They had Fantasy Life.
Fantasy Life. Our reviews for those games were already up.
I think Mario Kart is like, you want to see Mario
Oh
Kart?
no, they lied to us. They said Mario Kart. So this is getting on the record right now.
Okay.
Every single time they do one of these holiday events, they say there's gonna be something there that's really interesting.
Yep.
And then they don't have it. And this year they said they're gonna have Mario Kart 8 DLC. I'm like, we're gonna get to play as Link in Mario Kart.
Yep.
Finally gonna get to try
see
it out.
That excites.
Can't wait to try it. Yeah, can't wait to try this out.
Yep.
We get there, we ask them if they have it, like it's not here. I'm like, you just want us to come, that's right. You just want us to come here and you lured us with this promise, Mario Kart 8 DLC, and you don't even have it. It seemed like the easiest thing to have there, and they don't have it.
We took the bait. We showed up.
There were a few games that were there that weren't out yet.
Yeah.
So the key ones were Smash for Wii U. They had
Sonic Boom,
and The Rise of Lyric.
Good for memorizing the subtitle.
And then they have the 3DS one, which I don't know what that is.
Yeah, I forget. It does have its own subtitle.
Something, the Fall of Lyric.
No.
Make it up.
Lyric's rising in both
Lyric
of those.
Rising, Revengeance. And then Persona Q. And they had the special demo, Pokemon Alpha and Omega. We're not going to talk about that.
NES Remix we also played for the 3DS.
The 3DS one, which has one new mode, apparently. Yeah. Or it has multiple ones, but the primary one was Speed Mario.
Yeah.
I think that's what it's called.
Okay, so let's reel back. Let's start off with Sonic Boom.
We should go back to the game that, let's preface this, but we're there we think we're going to play a lot of Smash Brothers.
Yeah.
And then we get there, and there are these two nice gentlemen from Sega that have this nice long presentation for us for Sonic.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna lie, when I played it before, I thought the game was not very good. I played it at a Judges Week event before E3. It was pretty much, as you call it, gutter trash.
So
it was gutter trash at that point.
These two guys had a lot to do. They had a lot of work to do to convince Damiani that this is even worth listening to.
Yes.
Okay.
And then they go ahead and they show us, and it was stuff I'd already seen at Comic-Con.
Yeah.
But I don't know how you felt. It seemed like they locked it at 30 frames. They were definitely, I think they gave up on going for 60 frames because it was kind of like a frame rate mess when I saw it before.
Right.
So it seemed like they tried to just we're going with 30.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's final or not. That could be different, but it definitely looked like it was only running at 30 frames.
Sonic Boom has not got to go fast. Sonic Boom
has
got to adventure.
It's got to go Jack and Daxter.
Yeah.
They even used the term Jack and Daxter.
They did frequently.
They used Jack and Daxter, and it's just what it's like. It's an adventure game with a few sections of the I gotta go fast mode. But other than that, it's definitely a slower paced, methodical game, like an adventure game.
Yeah. The things they tried to stress is that we are going for a core audience here. There are going to be difficult parts of this game. There's an extreme mode. If you beat it, you get to play extreme mode. But generally, the impression I got of Sonic Boom, I didn't realize it was going to have it's going to be Jack and Daxter. They said they're going to have hub worlds, and you can expand these hub worlds and your access to new worlds within these optional worlds even. So that part was cool to me. That part was interesting.
I mean, the premise is intriguing. I'm not going to lie. I don't like the new character designs. I don't know why they have to keep reimagining Sonic every 10 years or something.
This is a whole thing. This is a whole separate. They made that very clear too.
They're doing a television show.
Sonic Boom is its own world.
Yeah, it's different from the main Sonic. So this, I don't know. Whatever. They're trying something different.
Yeah.
Kudos for that. But aside from that, yeah, it's just a different feeling Sonic game. And when you said target audience, I kind of laughed when you said a little like you were talking about difficulty and stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna lie. When I was at Comic-Con, entire line of people waiting to play the game were children. Not lying.
Children are good at video games.
Yeah, but they're not gonna be you don't give a child Dark Souls and expect anything special out of them. You're they're gonna unless they're prodigies.
Yeah. He definitely geared his presentation toward us.
Yeah, it was a little skewed. I
Yeah.
mean, to be fair, who knows? The final version, they might have these the hub concept might be cool. It might be fun to explore this hub world, the actual different worlds you travel to, and you never know. Maybe they finally figured out it's gonna be more the Mario games. We gotta have a hub world and these individual worlds,
side objectives.
But we'll keep calling it Jack and Daxter because we never want to compare ourselves to Mario.
Yeah.
Even though Lost World is clearly Galaxy vibe, all this stuff, but you play as different characters. Well, that's the one thing we should point out. You in the There's different cast of characters. The Wii version, you get Amy, is the one exclusive. And then, I don't remember the name of the... Styx is the one in the 3DS version.
Yeah.
The 3DS version is more of a traditional side-scrolling
It's all right.
game.
It looked okay.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
Like, I think people have... Like, if you prefer the 2D games, you're going to want to play the 3DS one. If you like the 3D ones, you're going to want to play this one. Although, it's a different type of Sonic game. It's like its own universe. It's a different spin-off. I just don't know, like, if like people who like the traditional gotta go fast, like speed type levels are gonna necessarily be happy with this, because they gave a little hint of that in Lost World with the slowing down, and it seemed to work okay in the levels they demoed. But once we finally got the full version of the game, it was like, man, they really cherry picked the levels they showed us in advance. I have a feeling they're kind of doing that now with us, because the level they showed us looked fine, like it was okay. But I was like, you know what? I think they've learned their lesson. I think they're showing us only what they want us to see, so we feel good about this Sonic game. And when it comes out, there's going to be garbage about this. You burned me too many times, Sonic.
I remember being pretty hyped for Lost World after like that honeycomb level. That was a really cool level. Yeah, you're right. You might be right.
But here's the thing, like the presentation went so long, we really didn't get hands-on with the Wii U version there.
Right.
So that was a little interesting, but we got hands-on with the 3DS version. And as I said, like it seemed fine. It was okay.
I think it might be okay.
And then
he said there's a Shadow and there's a Metal Sonic in there in the Wii U one.
There we go.
You can't play as them, but they're gonna come into play.
They're gonna like show up.
There's reimaginings of these characters.
Can't wait to show you them.
Yeah.
They're gonna be like Michael Bay Transformers.
They're gonna be cool. Yeah, exactly. They're gonna be awful Michael Bay.
Look like the
Ninja
Shredder.
Turtles.
Yeah, the Shredder from Ninja
right.
Turtles, like overgeared and stuff.
Metal Sonic.
Shooting like magnetic spikes at Sonic and then like retracting him back.
Oh yeah, thank you. Okay. So Sonic Boom, we covered it. It might be okay.
We're not going to pass judgment on like an early build, but it comes out in like 2 weeks.
Yeah, really soon.
So
weird. Yeah.
We'll see about that.
Finish that game already.
So that took up a bulk of the time, and then we got to the actual the Nintendo part of the presentation, and that's when we're like, we want to play Smash Brothers for Wii U.
Yeah.
Guys, we have many games here, so we're only going to spend like 15, 20 minutes on Smash Brothers. Like, we're not going to spend the whole time.
Which is fair. It's fair for Nintendo to make us play other games other than Smash Bros.
I feel like you should, if you're going there, you'd be able to check out what games you want, because you're the press outlet. You're going to write about what you want to write about.
Right.
Them giving you a presentation for all those games, like, that seems like, I don't know. I feel like they should just let you pick what you want. Sure. I do feel bad because, like, why else would they have brought the Sega people there? Because they knew people wanted to choose Sonic. They wanted people to do that.
Yeah.
So if you want someone to see your game, have a presentation for that. But anyway, Smash Brothers.
Yes.
8-player Smash.
8 players.
8-player Smash.
It's real. It's a real thing. It doesn't slow down.
They only showed us big battlefield, though. They wouldn't let us play on other levels.
We were only allowed to play on one stage.
They were choosing the levels. Like, we didn't ask to play a different level. But they kept selecting that one. But big battlefield, ran smoothly, no issues. 8 people mayhem, NPC character or computer-controlled characters.
Yeah.
And amiibo characters. They finally showed us in action the amiibo characters working.
Yes.
And you could save your data, you could transfer them, you could customize them. There was a lot of stuff they were showing off actually doing it. And despite them being kind of like a little hesitant about, like, you know, they're being like a little bit more meticulous with, like, we got to put them on at the right time. Like, it seemed every time they just even remotely put it near the gamepad, it like detected it immediately and it worked. I was like, man, you guys are being a little too cautious with this. I think that this works fine.
Right. So if you're still confused about how amiibos work with Smash Bros, I had to explain this to even people in this office. You never play as your amiibo.
That's right.
Your amiibo is always an AI. You can only do it within, I think, Smashes. You know what I mean? You can't like bring it into the home run mode. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It is just for fighting against. And fighting against you, it learns your moves. Fighting against your friends, it learns your friends' moves. And it just levels up, becomes smarter. And you can feed it to make it stats raise, and the level cap is 50.
And eventually you will never be able to beat it.
Well, here's the thing. We did 8-player Smash. We had a level 50 fully upgraded Wii Fit trainer. She did not place in the top 4.
That's right. So it was 8-player Smash, though.
Yeah, that's true. 8-player Smash is a little chaotic, but I think
might have been a different
a good human is still better than a level 50 fully maxed amiibo. Still,
I will agree with that.
The interesting thing is the way it works is at the character select screen, you put your amiibo on. Then at the end of the match, everybody has to put their amiibos back on to upload that data of that match into the amiibo.
Yep.
It doesn't have to be at the end of the match. It has to be at the end of the day, basically.
At some point you have to put it back on. It uploads all the data to that. It has to be that specific one. So you can't like take another amiibo and try and save, like if you want to back up, like I want to have my save on like 2 amiibos. They showed you trying to use the wrong one. It would say like, this is not the original amiibo. Please put the original one back on.
You can't trick us.
So, I mean, we've seen that with like Skylanders. Like you put too many on the portal or whatever. Or like, this is not the right one.
The thing about Skylanders is that it's always on the portal.
Yeah.
I think they may have changed that recently, actually. But yeah, exactly. Like
I just remember if you added too many, it would give you like the message, you can't do this. Or if... they would have similar type messages like that. So that, I mean, but that was really all we got to like see. Like we didn't get to play the Metroid stage with Ridley. I was really sad.
Yeah, we didn't get to try out the new like board game mode.
Oh yeah, we didn't get to try that. We didn't get to try out the level creator.
Yeah.
With the drawing on the stylus to see,
But they definitely spoke highly of it. I don't know. To me, I like being in those cool Nintendo worlds. I don't care to be in some weird flat world that some kid made with his stylus.
Yeah.
I'm not crazy about the
at this point,
levels.
it's like, we just need to get the game in. We need to let us play it as we want without, Nintendo's, no stock. They don't ever do stock matches.
Do you think there's a value to 8-player matches?
I think they'll be good at like parties. Like people who just because it gets more people involved. Do you remember when it's always been 4-player? But did you ever have a big enough group, like maybe like in school or like later on in college when you were playing any kind of Smash, there'd be too many people and like you'd either have to force all 4 players to rotate out.
Yeah.
But if you did only the last place person got kicked out,
always.
It seemed like it would take forever to get back like in there and stuff.
Yeah.
So now with 8 players, you're gonna get more people playing at the same time.
And you can do 5, 6, and 7. We should make clear.
Yeah.
You could do 5 if you wanted
6.
to.
I don't know if they can do. Yeah. You're right. And I think it'll just be fun for those. But you can't play these modes online.
Right.
You can't do that. So it's still gonna be 4-player. Or less for online and stuff.
But it is crazy to see 8 characters mashing it out on screen without frame rate dropping. That is so crazy.
I just want to see if it holds up on every stage.
I kind of just feel like it's like a 3DS game with good textures is why that works.
I think the game looks like way better on this.
It does. It looks really good. It looks
they
really
were.
good,
The 3DS was really holding back a lot of stuff. So it's still a decent system. Maybe we should talk a little bit about, just real briefly, Persona Q.
Sure.
I didn't really get to play it. I got to watch the opening cutscene, which, Atlas...
You got to skip those. If you're at a preview event, you got to skip that opening cutscene.
That's one of the most important things.
We can go on YouTube and watch it right now.
But they're awesome, and you like watching them over and over again. That was an awesome thing to do.
It's still very story heavy.
Yes.
It is. If you're listening to the entire story, I think it's going to be 45 minutes before you get into that first dungeon.
And I think Persona fans are used to that.
Yeah.
So
Probably.
There's nothing different there. I think most people know, but just for those who don't, you start off by picking which hero you want to be. Do you want to focus on the Persona 3 cast? Do you want to focus on the Persona 4 cast?
Yeah.
So you pick either one of those heroes, and then you start the story from there. You actually got into the dungeon a little bit.
Yeah.
So I was still going through the story, and I didn't actually get to the dungeon. So you actually got to experience some of the combat.
It's, what do we call it, Etrian Odyssey style, where you're going a square at a time?
Dungeon crawler.
Okay, dungeon crawler style. It's in first person.
Roguelike.
And you're going one square at a time, and you kind of just move square by square.
Yep.
It looked good. It definitely it has a style, which is pretty cool, and it looked good on the XL. You know what I mean? It didn't look gross on an XL, which is something to say. It is what that is. It's, a hardcore RPG. It'll kill you.
Yeah, and the battle system is pretty similar to Persona. It starts off in first-person perspective,
right,
the enemy, but as soon as you do an action, it goes back to over the shoulder and shows the fighting animation.
Yeah, I'm impressed this game's on 3DS.
Yeah, it looked pretty good.
Yeah.
Wish we could play more. Wish Ben Moore could have played it.
Ben Moore will play it.
He's probably already secretly got it, 10 copies pre-ordered from Amazon right now.
At least the Persona Q version of the 3DS, man.
Yeah,
all right.
geez.
Then
is there anything else?
NES Remix.
Okay, yeah, real quick.
Okay.
So we played Speed Mario.
Yes.
Which is original Mario Brothers, way faster. The speed of the game is way faster.
I'd say double speed.
Probably at least double speed.
1.5 maybe.
So for those people like me who played it so much, know it inside and out.
Yeah.
It was it's gonna screw with the timing of your for anyone. It's gonna screw with the timing of jumping. But for people so used to their memory, memory map, and for pushing buttons at the right times, it's just so weird adjusting to that. But the one cool thing was when we got to World 1-2, First try.
I love this. Yeah.
We did the minus world glitch. So we clipped through and got pushed through the wall, but we couldn't keep moving. I was like, no, they fixed it. Like, we were so defeated.
Yeah.
But we jumped up, went up around the top and dropped down, and I went down one of the holes or the warp zone pipes. Minus world.
Still got to minus world.
Minus world and Speed Mario. I was like, "Woo, this is insanity, man. This is so cool."
Yeah.
And then we died, and then like they're like, "Man, you could really beat this game fast. We're gonna track people's times and stuff and scores." And then when I got to World 8-2, and then they're like, "All right, you've had enough time. You can't finish the game."
Yeah. He got really far into the
like,
game.
Why? Just like
you were nailing those jumps.
I
Even
made
the hardest jumps.
the 8-1 jump with the 1 block wide platform near the end, where there's 2 gaps and there's that 1 block one in the middle. That was like kind of nerve-wracking at double speed because I was like, just gotta mash that A. As soon as I was about to land, mash that A, so I get the jump input in.
It worked.
And then those series of the ones going up, like the staircase ones, but there's a gap between each one. That one
I can't do those at regular speed.
That one kind of sucked.
So to quickly explain what those are before we go, the NES Remix on 3DS is a semi-collection of the first 2 NES Remix games on Wii U. It's a bunch of the games. I think it's 16 of the games, but not all of the games from all one and all the games of 2. And Speed, is it called Speed Mario?
Speed Mario, I think is what it was called.
That is only available on 3DS. The Wii U is getting a disc version of both NES Remixes 1 and 2, but that will not have Speed Mario.
Yep.
That's what I learned.
That's pretty much it.
Cool.
I mean, well, wish they had more games. I wish they had Mario Kart 8 DLC. I wish they had Xenoblade. Wish they had Zelda Wii U, but next year, maybe we'll go.
You wish we walked in there and they're like, here, look at Zelda Wii U. Here it is.
So, yeah, to wrap this up, next year what's going to happen is we're going to go to it, the fall one. They'll be like, we're going to have Xenoblade and Zelda Wii U here.
Okay, we're going to walk
and then we're going to go there and they're like, oh, sorry, we had an event you didn't go to. They're not here.
Here's Sonic Boom 2.
Here's the new Sonic game. Here's like some 3DS RPG that Ben Moore loves. But that I don't like.
No, I'm still very grateful to have been able to go to that. That was cool.
I'm kidding.
But what's weird about Sonic Boom, one last thing. I don't even know why I'm bringing this up.
Wow.
They're still making regular Sonic games. Sonic Team is still working on Sonic.
Yeah, they've been very clear about that.
These are going to like go in conjunction, and so there's going to be like 2 Sonic games a year.
Call of Duty route.
Yeah.
Like everyone else.
All right.
So, Sonic.
Sonic.
Gotta go fast.